When the 1975 edition of the Ft.Wm.Nat'l-Internationals donned their supreme uniforms and took to the field at the Fort William Stadium for the District 3 playdowns, they were setting upon a journey to reclaim the national crown that some of them had won the year before. Their 13-0 blanking of the Port Arthur Continentals in their first game was a sign that they were on the right path. Going on to win their next 3 games, they claimed the district title and the chance to compete in the Canadian Championships. They did not have too far to travel, as Thunder Bay played host to the national finals that year, welcoming teams from Calgary, BC, and Montreal. Adding to their perfect record, they blanked Calgary in their first matchup, scoring 2 unanswered runs in the 5th. Next up was Montreal, and this time it was 4 unanswered runs in the 4th that led to their victory. Their first loss came at the hands of Calgary, where a 5-3 final in an emotionally charged matchup that featured injuries and ejections set up a sudden death rematch to determine who would wear the national crown. In front of a capacity crowd at Port Arthur Stadium, the Western visitors' only run came in the first inning, with the hometown teams 4 runs in the 4th and double in the 6th, earning them the national title and a trip to Gary, Indiana to represent their country at the Little League World Series. The double knockout 8-team competition featured the top ball players from the US, the Far East, and Europe. No Canadian team had ever won the event, and to even win a game was considered a major accomplishment. After resting up in their accommodations in the local high school and having their hair cut to an acceptable length, the squad was ready to meet their first challengers. First up was the team from Fresno, California, representing the US West. Scoreless after 4 innings, their opponents logged 2 runs in the 5th, producing a 2-0 final. Next up was the US East, being represented by a team from New York. This time it was Canada's turn to blank the competition, emerging victorious in a 4-0 final, keeping their hopes alive. The team from Clear Ridge, Illinois, representing the US North, was all that stood in their way of the team making history with a second victory at the tournament. An unearned and unanswered run in the 4th handed them a hard-fought 1-0 loss. Eliminated from the tournament, they could be proud of their strong showing over their 3 games, and equally proud of Dan Tennant, who was named a Series All-Star. The members of this national championship team and Canada's representatives at the Little League World Series included Mark Backer, Lee Browning, Gord Griffin, Doug Harris, Andy Hay, Graham Longley, Ken Mayer, Bill Alexic, Dave Osipenko, Gordon Pierce, Peter Poshtar, Dave Purdy, John Sliskovic, Dan Tennant, coach Bill Poshtar, and manager Maurice Sawchuk. It was 32 years ago that these young athletes left their mark on our region's proud sports heritage, and no doubt to them and to their many fans, it feels like only yesterday.